What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Crash Course Metal Show. We got with us here today the guy that started it all, I guess, for me and my mom as well.
Yeah.
But definitely have Daddy Krash here, which I call him Dad, and I guess everyone else can call him Daddy Krash or Dad or whatever, unless you want to say your real name. But it's just interesting because we don't see too many YouTube channels out there having like father son talking about hair metal. So this is kind of cool. And a lot of other guests that come here to the house and come out and meet with us and stuff like that. They always say that that's a pretty cool dynamic type. You don't see that a whole lot in the present day. So what's going on? Anything new?
No, and to add to that, it's pretty cool when you can go out and have a beer with your son and people come up and give us a little credit for being able to hang with each other,
Yeah.
because like you said, it ain't don't happen very often that father and son, they don't have much in common at,
Yeah.
at our age.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like even recently, we hung out with Robbie Strine from Rocks Gang,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
original bass player. He comes out
Uh-huh.
to happy hours with us sometimes, and like that's just so cool to think of that, and so wild to think of that too. It's like Rocks Gang. Like when I was little, listening to like Cinderella and stuff. When I was like 10, 12 years old, I'm like, damn, these guys were my age at like 14 or 20 years old 30 years ago. They're all probably dead now, or like, or just like normal guys
Yeah,
now,
yeah, a lot of them
And
are.
then
Yeah.
it's just so cool to see like Michael Kelly Smith. Like we see him at the music expo and stuff. And then Robbie Strine, we drink a beer with Robbie Strine. We get to talk Rocks Gang and stuff like that. So it's just cool to see.
What up, maniacs? Hey, it's DK Ravella from the band Kickin' Valentina. You're watching the Crash Course Metal Show.
But when you were growing up, so you're almost 60 now.
Yep.
And now, when you were growing up until your teenage years, you were more into the soul
Yeah.
and those kind of
Yeah.
more so than the rock.
Funk music. I
Yeah,
liked,
funk.
some of them funk. I used to roller skate, so when you're roller skating, you really can't skate to heavy rock and roll or
Yeah,
heavy. You know what I mean?
Britny
So
Fox,
yeah,
Cinderella. Can't
it
really skate to
doesn't
that
doesn't
stuff.
work too well. But I was a roller skater and skateboarder, and so when I went roller skating, I was looking for a groove line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bass line. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I sort
A
of.
little bit of Parliament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Parliament and Rick James and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that good stuff, man. I liked Motown.
Even Michael
A lot of
Jackson
yeah,
stuff.
Michael Jackson. I did, sure,
Okay.
good stuff. Well,
So now that leads me. So what years was that in when you were roller skating?
hmm, I
Like,
guess 75. Well, I mean, I was 6 years old, so I mean, I was born in 64, so I started skating like when I was 4 or 5 years old. So 70,
okay,
71 up to 80, probably 82 or so. I gave it up, I guess.
okay. So 82.
Yeah.
Now, when you started getting out of it,
Yeah.
because you started
I
getting
was
out of it when you
old enough
turned
to,
18 and started
yeah,
drinking and stuff,
start
right?
drinking. Yeah.
And like going to the shows
Right.
itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Going to see some of the bands and stuff. And I always did like hard rock and stuff
Right.
too. It's just that
Because your
I like,
brother, my
yeah,
uncle,
my
liked
my older
hard
brother.
rock.
Yeah.
He wasn't
And he
as,
introduced me to that. Yeah.
yeah, he introduced you to like the
Sure.
Steppenwolfs and
Yeah. Yeah.
Kingdom Comes.
No.
Well, that was later,
And
but
and the
Aerosmith.
Yeah, and he didn't roller skate or dance or anything, but he
Mm.
still liked Motown and Rick
Okay.
James and all of them.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
liked all that stuff too, though.
Yeah,
He
good
appreciated good
variety.
music,
Yeah, and a good variety in the
Long,
family.
exactly, long as it was good.
Yeah.
You know.
And also too, so you're in the early 80s when was there any kind of like did the kids like the early metal stuff in the skating rink though? Like obviously you can't
No,
skate to it, but were there
no.
metalheads like in there?
Yeah, I mean, they made it.
Even in like the mid 80s, like if you ever went back in there like
Not
once
that
in
I
a while.
recall. Not that I recall. I mean,
Okay.
everybody was in the the roller skating.
Yeah.
Actually, I started out roller skating. It was organ music. They had a live organist there playing organ music,
Okay.
and that was when they were real young, 6,
Yeah.
8, 10 years old. But then as it got into the 70s and disco and things like that.
Soul Train.
Yeah, then start coming the DJs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Spinning the records.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was cool,
Yeah,
back then it was early, it was
yeah, there's still talent behind it.
Sure. Sure.
Than what you got 15 years later.
Anybody that can play an instrument and sing has got my vote. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I will give anyone shit for showcasing some kind of talent and not something that just sounds like shit, or people. There's nothing to it,
right?
Can't understand it.
Playing in the background somebody else's music, and then they just add different words.
Yeah,
talking,
well, that too. Yeah,
talking yet,
Yeah.
I mean,
just a whole bunch of remixing, just yeah. I don't like that kind of stuff either, but which is why we don't really talk about that on the channel. So that's but
now you're digging back now, back in the 70s there.
Yeah. So okay, we'll stick here to the 80s when you're growing up with the roller skating, which I will show you guys some footage of my mom and dad in the roller skating ring with a bunch of their buddies back when it was the cool thing, but so now you're after you turn 18 or around 18, you're starting to be able to go to shows, bars with shows. Here in Pennsylvania, there was Swizzles, Hammerjacks as well in Maryland. Right? And
was it Hammerjacks or Jack Hammers? I don't care. Always
Jackhammers or Hammerjacks. I don't know. I wasn't there, so and you were there, but you can't remember.
No,
so so that's a little bit. Of a
but it was down in Baltimore.
Yeah, where like Kicks always played, and Child's Play always played there. But it's
and Swizzles was my local. That was the go-to every weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what were some of the bands that you've seen here locally in southern Pennsylvania?
Oh boy. Some that went and made it a little success and stuff was Overkill. Overkill was one of them that
Overkill, the thrash guys, they were from New York. They're from New York, so
Tease was a band.
Tease, they were Tease first, but then once they got signed, they turned into Rough House.
Okay, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, because
I've seen them as Tease.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I think they were from Philly.
I was going to say, I thought they were
the
from
Philly area.
Yep. Seen them, and oh my!
You seen Poison when they were Paris?
Yeah, seen Poison
up in Harrisburg,
Mechanicsburg when they were Paris up at the Paradise nightclub.
Now that was with CC though.
Paradise Grill or whatever it was.
Okay, that was CC. That was when they went out and they came back before the album.
Well,
was
no,
released,
that
right?
was with the old guy when they were still Paris, and then they went out.
Okay,
and came back as Poison, and then CC was with them. That was at the Metron.
Yeah,
they came back and supporting their
That'd
album.
Be cool to see them before and then like right before they blew up.
That was a wild and woolly night that night. I remember that.
Yeah,
couple buddies, we all up there and raised heck. Yeah.
There are a lot of stories.
A
lot of stories, but that is usually the most famous one that everyone always hears from. Dad here. People. Getting drunk, throwing up.
No, never.
Throwing up on the way home outside of the car. And gotta be smooth with it. Don't pull over.
Yeah.
So, but no, but that kind of leads me. So, okay, so this is the 80s here now. You're 18, 21. What was kind of like the atmosphere of shows, just local shows of the big boys, like we said with Paris, Overkill, and even Child's Play and stuff, like bands that were signed. And what were those shows like? But also even like the smaller band shows, like what was the atmosphere like at the bars and smaller clubs and stuff?
Well, when you had somebody that had a name for herself, getting recognition and stuff. Of course, it was more people packed,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, even the local bands,
like cover bands and stuff.
What was that band that I like? They were from York here. A band, Bad Attitude, I think the name of it was. Bad Attitude, I think it was. I liked them guys. They were good, man. They did a lot of good music, good songs, and there was a lot of good local bands, back in that day.
Oh yeah, that was what everyone's entertainment was.
Yeah.
What everyone wanted to do.
Yeah. And Swizzles was every time I went there, Friday or Saturday night, man, they were pumping.
And even what was the weeknight look like? Like there were still people that showed up to shows during the weeknight.
a weeknight, a dead weeknight looks like a Saturday night today.
Yeah,
you know?
that actually draws a decent crowd.
Yeah,
You know, like that what we would say draws a decent crowd.
Yeah.
So do you think, like, someone mentioned in the comments, I believe, that in Pennsylvania, because when you were young, was it always 21 or was it 18, the drinking age?
Maryland was 18.
Pennsylvania was always 21.
21, yeah.
Okay. All right. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't.
A lot of people
sure.
used to go to Maryland and get beer and bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his point, though, to that was why maybe the scene isn't as good as it is now. Like, that's maybe a thing now because you raise the drinking age.
Well,
and the kids, when they're 21, there's more shit for them to do overall. So if you're a bar and have bands, live music, when you're 18, you're like, oh shit, I can have a beer and check out live music for a couple of years until I'm 21 and do whatever. But that could hurt just pushing the age up, keeping the younger generation out. You know, so that's why younger generation just isn't into music too. So okay, so we're in,
and I guess, you know, now this day and age that we're in, a lot of kids aren't playing instruments. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not, you know,
it's all video games,
video games and stuff
sports,
like that.
even like
that's
it was
killing it. That's killing the scene, you know.
Yeah, I mean, sports were always big.
Yeah.
But like I think sports is seems way more bigger now than it was 20, 30 years ago. Even.
I think so.
So that there's just so much attention, so much entertainment now.
Right.
To where people
at your fingertips.
Yeah,
you ain't waiting for Friday or Saturday night.
No, and like we
working a job and saying, boy, come on Friday. Man, go out and party.
And there's you have more entertainment in your house now. Like we're cool with staying home and just bullshitting or whatever instead of going to a show, you know, like sometimes. So I can totally see the appeal to that as well. It's not like the thing in town to do anymore.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what sucks. So going through the 80s here. Now, when was the time when you kind of started getting out of it? Like when it was like, was it 89, 1990, 91? Because I was born in 1992.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it start collapsing right around then too, I guess. For me, 90.
Yeah. So like, 90, what did you see on the ground, like locally on the ground, like
89, 90? Yeah, that was about the end of it then. You know what I mean?
Not seeing no new bands,
right?
Fresh faces in the audience and stuff.
And then Swizzles closed up around that time. I mean, even before that, I think they closed up before 90. Even it turned into something else, a regular bar or something. I think a strip bar or something it was then. But yeah, them bands disappeared. You know, what was it? The grunge and stuff.
Well, grunge started, alternative stuff started, rap started getting bigger.
Yep, that kind of stuff. And I mean, and of course with me, like you said, you were born, so that's why I got out of it. I mean, I wasn't really.
Well, I think that's what some of the issue is too. Like
a lot of people got older.
Yeah, you were turning 26 or so, and like you're just starting your life, your adult life then, you know, and started having more responsibilities.
Right.
So, and that just takes away from buying records, going out on weekends, you know, and so, I mean, it is a natural downfall. It's going to happen no matter what, you know, the scene's going to die at some point or like go way down at some point if you're not bringing new faces in.
Nothing lasts forever.
No, don't. So that kind of like, so you were out of it then around, just say 1992, you were like, okay, music's over, you know, like I'm just.
Buddies didn't want to go out on the board. I mean, you know, it started just dying off, you know, little by little, you know.
Yeah. And it never really recovered.
Right.
You know, so like up until about 5-6 years ago, I said, hey, let's start going and see some shows. Like there's bands coming around here. Let's go locally or whatever. And it's just because I had no reference of what it was back in the golden age. Like even before COVID. Okay, so like in 2019, 18, we would go out to a couple like just cover shows. There's a decent amount of people there, I guess, but nothing like crazy. But then like once COVID hit and once it's opened back up, then it just seemed dead around here. You know, like the best, there was nothing that was really sold out for rock and metal.
Right.
Even when you brought Lynch Mob or, you know, Kickin' Valentina or just like bands that were big back in the day or somewhat big now, like they're not really selling out medium-sized bars now, you know. So, what do you think some of that issue is? Is it drinking age? Is it just too much entertainment? Is it just what do you think it is? Like what?
I think all the above and some. I think a lot of people probably don't even want to go out because of the risk of getting pulled over. You got to
Yeah,
have an Uber,
DUI
got to have
stuff.
an
Yeah.
Uber, and they really cracked down on that over the years, which is, I mean, it's understandable. You can't have drunks out driving around and, just living the way you want to live and, go out and get slopped up and get behind the wheel. No, we don't want that. But I mean, it's just everything, the younger folks, I don't think they have an interest in this kind of music that we listen to. It's a different
Yeah,
world, man.
generally as like a whole, like mainstream wise.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
Now,
it's the same way. Like I'm in the cars and hot rods and stuff. It's like the kids even younger than you. You're 32, but the kids that are coming up in back of you, 20, 22, they ain't interested in the kind of cars I like.
they like Hondas. They
Yeah,
all
they
the
not into
Japanese
old,
stuff.
not into real old stuff.
Yeah.
And of course the price is up there too. I understand that. It's everything. I don't know where it balances out, really, to be honest with you, as far as like, I don't know. The music died and the rock music died in like 89. And I don't know, it's trying to hang in there. You're doing a good job trying to keep it going, and trying to get stuff, get
Yeah,
the buddies going. And,
trying to
yeah,
just
but
make it have people be aware of it,
I
and
know, but
because like if you don't know it's out there, you don't know it's a thing.
I know,
You know.
and like you send me some bands that are, young guys
Yeah.
playing, and there's some
Yeah,
of them
there's
are
certainly
good.
young bands
Yep.
still out there doing
Yeah,
good
yeah,
music.
sounding good.
Is there any bands that you like from the new age
Yeah,
modern bands that you like?
yeah, that the Black Coffee.
Black Office, South of Eden.
Yeah, yeah,
South of
yeah,
Eden.
yeah, ma'am. Uh,
Dirty
of
Honey.
course, I like Dirty Honey. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sort of a
Well, just
bluesy,
hard rock.
yeah, hard
It's
rock.
not hair metal or
Yeah,
anything, but
not
like
metal, but I like them. They're good.
Texas Hippie Coalition.
Yeah, yeah,
Texas
yeah,
Hippie, yeah.
yeah.
Big Daddy
Big
Rich.
Daddy Rich.
Well, we
Yeah,
went and saw them live, and
yeah, that was
they're
good.
really good
I
live.
enjoyed that more than you.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it, but yeah, you were up in the front row, just
Yeah.
like taking your hat off, cowboy hat off,
What
like getting all crazy.
yeah,
But
them cinnamon drinks were working.
yeah, there's micro
Yeah.
hard liquor.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there's
Woo.
plenty of bands out there that even like Hick and Valentina for being older guys.
Yes, yeah. I forgot
They're
about
really
them. Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I mean,
good.
they're one of my favorite
Yeah.
older new bands.
Uh-huh.
And just really good stuff. And
We seen them.
we see them.
See them at the local bar.
Yeah, we've seen them a couple times.
Uh-huh.
And every time they come around, we'll go see them because they're really good live.
Mhm.
And well, last night we were watching
Texas Hippie too. We'll go see them.
Yeah. Last night we were watching Devil's Train.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Say Beer,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Blackie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's plenty. We could sit here all day and name great new bands. It's not the lack. It's not the lack of great new bands that sound good
and good music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the lack of audience and people that care and buy the music too. That seems to be a problem the last 20 years. People not buying the merch and just people downloading it online for free. All right, so we're talking about the modern day, but since you grew up, or like since you lived through the glory days of the 80s and hair metal stuff, is there like something that stuck out to you as to why maybe the scene kind of died the way it did in 1990, 1991, 1992, how it just kind of fell off a cliff and people look back now on hair metal as kind of like a joke? Like, is there kind of like something that you remember seeing back in the day is like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, or maybe that's kind of stale, or, like what was there something that stuck out to you as like,
not really. I still like it today.
Yeah,
I mean,
and people that are honest like it.
Yeah.
Like people that ain't trying to act cool and like tough.
Right.
Yeah,
I like it just as much as it did when it was out,
Yeah.
When it was fresh.
Well, yeah, because you like it even more now because of the bands that I've shown you that you weren't aware of back in the 80s.
Right.
Because like when I first got into this, like after the first 6 months to a year, I was starting to show you bands
Right.
of the 80s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and up until this day now, and like
Hmm.
that's, that
Yeah.
never happens. It's always, usually the elders always, you set me on a base, but then like I just
Right.
kept building and
Yeah.
building.
Yeah. You
So
kept searching.
yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
all these, there's not one bad band in the 80s, really, when you break it down.
Yeah.
So but like, so
But
like,
I don't.
you don't think like it was like the power ballads or just like oversaturation of bands that kind of all look the same?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. A lot of them did sort of copy
Copying
each
each
other.
other.
Yeah. I mean,
It's yes and no, because it is a scene. It is
Yeah.
somewhat of a, everyone does somewhat look similar.
Yeah.
But like there's
Well,
not
with the
really
makeup and stuff, a lot of them start really wearing the makeup, and
yeah, but even like in 1990, they started stripping that down. Like Poison started
Yeah.
stripping down, Cinderella started
Yeah.
looking normal. But some bands did take it over the top too with that. Like Pretty Boy Floyd looked
Yeah.
way more, and Tough looked way more Poison times 10.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I can see that, but I also think there was enough on the other side of hair metal where it was like real stripped down, kind of normal, but still cared what they looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference, I think.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I don't know. Like
Just other than the times had to change, you think?
Yeah. And then the grunge. Yeah.
Yeah,
blame it
that's
on the
what
grunge.
that's what I was getting
Blame
at,
it on
like,
the grunge.
yeah, don't blame it on the rain and Milli
Yeah.
Vanilli. Blame it on Nirvana and the grunge.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
But
That,
it was a different stepping stone, I guess. I don't know.
well, that's the thing. Like,
it-
because you had like bands like Aerosmith, like the normal 70s rock and hard
Yeah.
rock. Then you had like bands like Quiet Riot, Rat, Motley Crue. Like that's
Yeah.
different from the 70s stuff.
Right.
And people from the 70s are like, oh, I don't like Motley Crue.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
suck.
Right. Yeah.
So like it's like that kind of, I think it's way steeper down going from Aerosmith to Motley Crue
Yeah.
to Poison to Nirvana.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even close. Or Cinderella to
Yeah.
Nirvana.
And I do like some of the music from the 90s.
Yeah, you like more
song,
of that than I do.
A song or two, a couple of
Yeah.
them. I mean, I sort of dropped out of it then, but I mean, I did like some music.
Well, whatever was on the radio, I guess,
Yeah,
at that time.
and that some people make fun of today, but I still liked it. But you like a song, you like a song.
Yeah, I not listen to something because
Yeah.
someone says it ain't cool.
Sure.
Fuck 'em.
Exactly. They're my ears.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so I one of the things that I wanted to bring you on just to get your first thoughts of is I'm going to show you a couple albums that I know you're aware of that are near to you. And I want, first thing when I get handed to you, I want you to just give us your first thoughts. Like, where does it take you back in time? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one here is Cinderella Night Songs. So when I hand this to you, what are some of your first thoughts of just when you were young, when you remember first time seeing it, and then also now? What do you think?
I remember the first time I seen the video "Shake Me." And I was watching MTV when I was young. I don't know,
86.
Yeah,
so.
22, 3,
okay,
somewhere around there. And and I thought I love that song right from the first note. First.
Well, it's still fresh.
Right from the first, exactly. And I thought, man, them guys are going places. I thought they were going to be bigger than they were, and but how many videos did they have on this here? About three.
Three. Nobody's Fool,
Yeah.
Shake Me, and Somebody Save Me.
Yeah, 3 on this one.
Yep.
Yeah, and man, I thought they were really going to be big, like AC/DC and stuff, and
or Motley Crue.
Yeah, or Motley Crue. Yeah. And this was one of my favorite bands, though. I had all their stuff.
Do you think that's one of the coolest covers of the 80s?
Yeah,
album cover.
Yeah,
of the 80s?
I thought it was cool when I seen it. I thought, they look good.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it's it's like a top 3 album cover of the 80s, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
So, well, another thing that people throw out there is why they aren't like on the Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard level.
Yeah.
is because the first two albums went multi-platinum, and then Heartbreak Station only went single platinum.
Mm-hmm.
They think if Heartbreak Station was more in line,
Yeah, they
of
went
the first
bluesy
two,
on the.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like real different,
Mhm.
still good,
Oh yeah, I
but
like
just
it.
different to your normal
Yeah.
average fan.
Well, and
though.
that's what I like. I like a person that can, or a band that can
Show their
yeah,
talents
show
in
their
different
talents
ways.
in other directions. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
not
like
just
that too.
not just hard rock.
As much as we like AC/DC, Rhino Bucket,
Yeah.
Dirty Looks, you can
Yeah.
only, I mean, it kind of gets old
3
after
chords,
a while. Yeah, it
you
gets
know,
kind of old
yeah.
after a while,
It
like,
does. It's like, okay, you got to listen to the song for 2 minutes before you realize which one it is. Sometimes. I
yeah,
mean, I'm
yeah,
just exaggerating, I know, but come on, I like somebody that can all over the place. Because you
mhm,
know me, hey, people laugh at me. I like Prince when he was out. When Prince was
yeah.
out, he was a talented dude.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't take that from him. He
yeah,
was
yeah.
talented.
We have plenty of
Yep,
variety here in the CD collection and stuff like. It's not all
yep,
just metal,
yep.
like even me,
Yeah, he was.
it's so that's
If you're talented, you're talented. I mean,
right.
and your music's good.
That's the thing.
Hey,
That's what it comes down to.
sure.
If it's good, people like Kid Rock even says like on his albums, if people like it, they'll hear it.
Right.
Or if it sounds good, they'll hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if people like it, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
And he says some like other shit.
Yeah, sure.
So there's another one here where this is 1988 now, a couple years, but another Pennsylvania band.
Well,
So do you remember this album or
yeah.
music video? Well, what's the first thing that
Long Way to
comes?
Love, yeah.
What's the first thing that comes to your
See,
mind?
back when
that?
I was young, it was the MTV was the thing, it was the videos. And that's when I would, I wouldn't necessarily hear this on the radio per se, you know what I mean?
So there was no real like
yeah,
rock
I
or
don't
metal?
remember listening on the radio. I remember listening and finding this stuff on MTV.
Okay.
MTV was good back then when
yeah.
It was, but
did you watch? Now you're talking like normal throughout the day MTV or specifically like Headbangers Ball or the Metal Mania?
They would have like what do you call that? A headliner exclusive video.
Oh yeah, premieres and
premiere,
stuff.
yeah. Premiere, they would do that like on Saturday nights and stuff.
Yeah,
know?
okay.
But they would have it on like through the week too. And then
Right.
they used to have a top 10 countdown of the videos. People would call in and
vote
stuff,
on
videos,
okay.
And then a lot of these guys were on, Britney, Aerosmith and Britny Fox and Cinderella, and Motley Crue. They were all on that battle, and then at the
get the top spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember that. I like this too. Yeah, Britny Fox.
Do you
I never seen these guys nowhere though.
Never seen them live.
No,
at all. Well, other than
Hershey. Yeah.
Oh, at Hershey.
Yeah, with Cinderella.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Mom went up there, and it was them,
Bullet Boys, Cinderella.
Yeah, and some 4 bands, I believe. Forget who the 4th one was. Bullet Boys, yeah.
Tangier.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe it was only 3.
All right. Yeah, 4 sounds like a lot. For a normal night.
It was 3, I guess.
And then now Dizzy Dean, is he a top 3 vocalist for you?
Yeah.
Like, is he one of your favorite?
Yeah.
Vocalists?
Him. I got Tom Kiefer, him, Jack Russell from Great White.
Okay.
I think he's very.
I didn't know he would be a top 3.
Yeah, he's good. Is he? He can sing. Oh yeah.
What about Spike?
I ain't saying that Dizzy can sing. I just like
you're right. And that's
he
what
can sing.
That's what I'm asking. Is like, your favorite? Your favorite?
Yeah.
Like,
now Jack Russell can sing. There's a difference there. Now
Yeah. But just like your favorite, you're like, oh, I just love everything that they kind of do.
Just say vocalist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does Spike?
Everybody's a vocalist. All depends how the people think how good you are.
Does Spike from the Choir Boys get in your top 3 at all?
Yeah, I like Spike. I like the songs.
Yeah. Spike's the
got
man.
Got a rough voice, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. He puts
he's all right.
He puts Rod Stewart to shame there, bud.
Yeah. Rod in his early days was pretty good.
Sorry, I got one more album here. And this brings in your brother a little bit though too, because I think he introduced you to this.
Kingdom Come, yeah.
So 1988's debut of Kingdom Come. Do you remember you weren't you? Did you see anything off MTV? Is that how you knew about him, or is it Russ, Uncle Russ, or
Yeah, they had a video out. I forget, it was probably this one here.
it's Get It On?
That's
Probably.
it. Yeah, Get It On. See how this album cover reminds me of Four Sticks, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, the
With
just
the,
number 4.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now
a little bit,
I
the
did
way the background is and stuff.
right now because I do like it's like old, not old English, but like just
Mhm.
old style of
Yeah.
old England
Right.
writing and like castles type stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I did a review on this album recently, which it will be out by the time you guys are watching this video. But everyone always compares them to Led Zeppelin, or like says they sound like Led Zeppelin and stuff. But people say it in a negative, give them shit kind of way.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I do hear Led Zeppelin, but it's not like a copycat ripoff.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they still have their own sound and songs and stuff. Like,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't get negativity. Same with like Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
Like,
and let's face it, they were all influenced.
yeah. That's
I mean,
that's what I say.
Well, sure, they're going to try to act like a little bit like their idol.
Yes, especially their first album.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
until they get like,
to me, that would be a compliment if I was somebody trying to sound like after you already made it and stuff, and
like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'd be flattered. Hey, I'd feel honored.
Mm-hmm.
But Russ like that. My brother, he had all that stuff, but yeah, he sort of introduced me to them because I know they had a video out though. They didn't play much of it.
Right. Yeah. They had Get It On and What Love Can Be is the other video. They only had 2 videos, I think, for this album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like even like Living Out of Touch and Pushing Hard, they weren't singles.
Right. Yeah.
They weren't on the radio or
no
videos or anything, which those are the 2 best songs probably on here.
Yeah.
Which Get It On is a good song though. Get It On's really good. But yeah, so like that's, I mean, we could probably do a whole episode of just like albums I know that you like grew up with and was in the family and stuff. Just see what you think about. Yeah, it's always cool to see like the first thing that you think about going back 30 years now, when you first seen it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like different like now that you look at this, like these 3 albums or one album or whatever, that is like kind of cringy or cheesy or like just like that.
Well, of course,
like,
I'm older. Some of that stuff, yeah. Not so much that, but when you think about the makeup and stuff like that, of course we were all young.
Yeah, kids. What the hell?
Trying to get yourself noticed, out on LA Strip and everything and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You had to do what you had to do to try to get people talking about you.
Yeah,
come to see you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Any publicity back then was good publicity.
Yeah, I get it.
Really,
I get it, but I don't know. Them guys made a lot of money and stuff, and they probably don't regret it to this day. I mean, they think, hey, I don't care. I made money.
And you had I would hope so. Hope that you had fun doing it. It's not like someone forced you to wear this makeup or whatever, or dress like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's always fun to me, like kind of like, oh, what would I look like in this or like in this outfit or whatever? Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't get
on stage like going to a Halloween party or something.
Yeah. That's it's like what, not like a superhero, but it's like that mentality, like like, oh, I could be somebody else.
Well, I guess
tonight,
that's how Kiss felt. They wore that makeup for years before they took it off.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was clever.
They were the only band that was really like that.
It was clever
at the time.
It sure was.
So
it's like they say, Gene is a businessman. He's not a musician. He's a businessman.
Yeah, he's not dumb.
No, he's not.
But whether he's the coolest guy on earth is another thing. But
he likes to think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything else that you want to touch on as far as like maybe like the live scene or like any points that you want to make known or just questions that you have of metal?
Let's open up a nightclub and we'll let bands play there for free. Mm-hmm. And we'll put up flyers and hand out flyers and stuff and that's a good gig for both of us.
Well, I was gonna say that's
for you, for me, for the bands,
for
selling the liquor.
people having fun, all the fans.
Don't charge the bands.
Well, you know, it's
just tell them, you know, hey, come on over here. You can get yourself noticed. You word of mouth. We're word of mouth.
Now that sounds kind of stupid, but it was done 30, 40 years ago, and all this vintage stuff is coming back. You know, like people are selling vintage clothes, and it's all the vintage stuff is coming back. What is old becomes new again.
Look at your sister.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff she sells, I think, rags. And she gets money for it.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, she's a vintage seller. She knows what she's doing, you know, all that 70s and 80s stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's certainly interesting. And these kind of questions can go on forever. And there's so many different answers too. So many different variables to why metal is on life support and the live scene just isn't there anymore. And I don't know. Now, okay, one thing I do usually bring up in this series with my guest is the older people, the older generation, your generation. They grew up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Hair metal and stuff.
And that's all who you see at these places too.
Well,
you know, like when we go.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no, because there are older people. There ain't too many people my age or younger, but there's only a couple of your generation. But your generation only wants to hear the same three songs.
I agree. Yeah.
So like when we go to an original show, there's not many people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always, even you admit that you're like, I don't understand why my generation doesn't want to learn about this new stuff that sounds like their favorite bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't ever come out to support it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything as a reason why you think that?
No.
Is it because people grew up with Journey, Kiss, Aerosmith, AC/DC, Motley Crue, and that's just what they love? They don't want to hear anything new because that's in their memories now.
Yeah, I believe that. Like people like to hear that for their younger memories.
Yeah,
you know, we're all getting older.
Yeah, but doesn't
60 years old? A lot of people don't feel like going if they work as a
well. Yes,
yeah,
but that doesn't stop them from going to YouTube and learn about these new bands that sound.
No, yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't have to be just going there live. Just go to YouTube and support them or buy their album or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, if you like it, if you like Striper and there's a new Christian band that sounds similar to Striper, or even Striper's new stuff, you know.
Yeah, I like their new stuff better than their old stuff.
Yeah, if you only want to hear 80s Striper but don't want to give new Striper a chance because it's new. Know, no memories to it or whatever. Like,
you said that too, didn't you? You like.
Oh yeah,
like,
new Striper stuff. I think I would prefer.
I do too.
Striper.
Yeah,
which I like better.
And it's heavier than you know what I mean.
And more variety to their music now as well. They do like death metal style.
Sure,
songs.
That's what I mean.
Country style songs. They do just hard rock. And metal. And
that's what I like. A band can
change it up because it does get stale when you have over 10 albums.
Same.
It's like, what the hell?
Exactly.
I couldn't even imagine.
Exactly.
I couldn't imagine doing just one album without sounding the same. You know, on every song.
Yeah.
You know, so the variety thing does, because that's one knock I do have of Rat. Sometimes, you know, when you're listening, especially the early stuff, the song starts to sound the same sometimes. You know, and like
especially like Stephen Pierce's voice, he really can't change his voice. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
it's cool.
It is. Yeah.
But there's really only one.
It has that pitch to it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's got that
just that range or, you know, it's just that unique sound.
Yeah.
It's only that one sound kind of.
Right.
Until later, like on Detonator, he switches it up a little bit. And that's I think why I like Detonator so much.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't sound so much like the rest of the Rat stuff.
I like that. That's my favorite album too.
So that's certainly a plus when a band can change things up and not sound the same on 20 albums.
Right.
So, but okay, I guess that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Tell us about your glory days if you guys are older, or even if you're younger too. Let us know what you guys think. Tell us some new bands that you guys like and want us to talk about. But
Yeah, come on out and party with us. And
Yeah,
I'll buy you
well,
a beer.
I was gonna say we're going to happy hour now. If anyone wants to join us happy hour with me, Robbie Strine, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. He might be there. But definitely this has been fun. But maybe Daddy Krash will come back again if you guys want him to. So
Nobody wants me anymore.
I don't know. People say, "Hey, is that Nikki Six or Nikki Six over there?" You know, I'm like, let's not talk about Motley Crue, please. There's plenty of other '80s bands that he can look like, you know. So, but I guess that wraps it up. Guys, thank you guys for watching the Crash Course Metal Show. Click the subscribe button, hang out with us, party with us for a little while. But until next time, that's Dad.
Yep.
I'm Crash Knight, and we will see you guys later.
Later.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.